everyone, this is Richard White, your founder and CEO of Lucro Life, and in today's presentation we are going to talk about the Uni-Level and why you should focus on the Uni-Level, because that's where the money is. Okay, so what is a Uni-Level? Unlike a binary, which is a company-wide matrix, a Uni-Level is a team matrix. So this is where all individual teams exist. In a Uni-Level, will only show direct line of sponsorship people, which is you plus anyone that you personally sponsor plus anyone that they personally sponsor, and so on to infinity. You will never ever see a spillover from an upline leader into your Uni-Level, because your Uni-Level again starts with you and only shows the people that are part of your direct line of sponsorship from you all the way down. A Uni-Level allows for an unlimited width, so you can personally sponsor 2 people or 1,000 if that's what you strive to do. Every person you personally sponsor will become level 1 and sit directly below you, and they will look like a string of Christmas lights. The people who they personally sponsor will become their level 1, but you're level 2, and we will explain that on the next slide. Your back office does show your current entire Uni-Level. Okay, so how do levels work? 2 things that are important to know: you have legs and you have levels. Legs, as you can see, there's 6 legs, so every single person that you sponsor is considered a leg. If you have 2 personally sponsored people, you have 2 legs. If you have 5 personally sponsored people, you have 5 legs. Levels are the depth of your organization. Every single person that you sponsor goes level 1 to you, from 1 to however many that you personally sponsor. Then who they sponsor will go directly below them, which would be level 2 to you, but level 1 to them. So every person you sponsor falls level 1 to you. And here's an example. If Dawn sponsors Anita, Anita will be level 1 to Dawn, and everyone that Anita sponsors will be level 1 to Anita, but level 2 to Dawn. Every person you sponsor is considered a leg, which I just said. So if you were to sponsor 6, like you see in this example, then you have 6 legs. My experience tells me that, and has been proven to show me, that if you can maintain 5 to 7 really strong legs, that you'll earn a ton of money and that you'll never have to worry about your business again. Okay, so let's talk about rank advancement and what we look when we're doing our rank advancement. The Uni-Level itself is the largest part of the puzzle to qualify somebody for a paid as rank, to either stay where they're at or to create a new rank. So what we look for to rank advance. To make rank in Lucro Life, we look for 5 things, nothing more, nothing less. I will follow up with another video that talks about breakage and how companies use that type of compensation plan to make the I guess the criteria or the rules in the favor of the company. So if you don't check all those boxes, you're basically not going to get that bonus, or you're not going to get that commission or that rank advancement. So let me just be clear in this video that we only look for 5 basic things. The first thing that we look for is, are you active? Do you have 30 points in personal volume or 30 points in PQV in the last 31 days? Personal volume is money that's generated through you or through customer volume. The 30 PQV, which stands for personal qualified volume, that is money that you personally spend every month yourself using your own money. So if you need your 30 PV to maintain your active status, again, that can come from you or a customer. The next thing we're going to look at is, are you base commission qualified? This is on the binary side. Are you active, which we just talked about, and do you have 1 active personal on your left and 1 active personal on your right who are also active on 30 points or higher? Do you check that box? If you do, then you are base commission qualified. The next thing we'll look at is the total personal enrollment tree volume of your team. Again, your personal enrollment tree volume is only you plus the people that you sponsor plus who they sponsor, and so on. So you're not going to see anybody that you see in your binary that are not part of your direct line of sponsorship, but you will see just those people in your PETV. So your total line of sponsorship, again, is you plus your personals, plus their personals, plus their personals, and so on. So if you get little Johnny on your left side binary team, and that person was brought in through your upline, then you're not going to see little Johnny in your enrollment tree. Okay. Every rank has its own requirement, and the first rank that we have starts at 500 points, and that's the Rising Star rank. The next thing that we look for is how much volume is in one leg of your PETV. Well, by default, the leg volume is 60 to 85%, and that's what allows you to create high rank or even the top rank with just two personals. So you can use up to 85% of one leg's volume towards any rank advancement. The fifth thing that we look for is the binary leg weak side. So whatever the PETV number is, whether it's 500 or 10,000 or 50,000, 35% of that has to be on the weak side binary leg, and that's the standard formula that we use. So if you're looking for a Rising Star, which we'll talk about on the next slide, it's going to ask what's the 35% of 500? In this case, it's 175. So do you have 175 points on your weak side leg? If you do, then all these 5 things go into your favor. You earned it, and you will be rank advanced. So when these calculations are ran and you meet the qualifications to continue at the same rank or go to a new paid as rank, then your numbers are going to dictate what happens. So here's a quick example of rank advancing. So in this case, we talked about on the last slide that Rising Star is our very first rank. So here's an example of how the UniLevel works and how it comes into play for rank advancement. Rising Star, again, is our very first rank, and all ranks are based on what's happening in both the binary and the UniLevel, but mostly from the UniLevel side. So the first thing that we're going to look for Rising Star or any rank is the brand partner qualified? Are you active on a minimum of 30 PV or 30 PQV? It's either going to be a check in the box or not. Does the brand partner have 2 personally sponsored brand partners where one is placed on the left team and one is placed on the right team who are also both active on 30 points or more? We're going to check that box. Does the enrollment tree have 500 or more points during the reporting period? See Note 1. Note 1 says that we use the total PETV from the 1st to the 15th of the month, and then again from the 16th to the end of the month. So when we look for your rank, we're going to calculate, based on those 2 periods, how much volume did you have between the 1st and the 15th, or when we calculate the 16th to the end of the month. So let's just say we're doing the first half of the month. You might have done 300 points the first week and 200 points the next week, and collectively that's going to give you 500 points. So you're going to check the box for number 3. Does the PETV have 500 more points during the reporting period? That reporting period, again, is from the 1st to the 15th. The next thing we're going to look at is, do you have 2 legs that add up to 500 points with no more than 85% of one leg counting towards the total volume? So 85% of 500 is 425. That means if you have your 2 legs, 425 points can come from one leg, and the other 75 points can come from any combination of 2, 3, 4, or 5 legs. So you would only need 75 points in any other leg to make it the difference. Then when that happens, you're going to check that box. The fifth thing is the minimum of 35% of the total PETV. In this case, we need 500 points in team volume, so 35% of that is 175 points. And does your left side, well, maybe not your left side, but your weak side, does your weak side have 175 points during that reporting period? If that happens, then that box gets checked and you become a Rising Star. Those are the only 5 things that we look for when we rank advance a brand partner in the company. Okay, so what is our model? Some companies use what's called a binary, and some people use what's called the UniLevel. They use one or the other. What we did is we created what's called a hybrid, and that is a model that uses both the binary and the UniLevel. So having a hybrid model allows us to help you get the best of both worlds. So you get the best of the binary, and you get the best of whatever a UniLevel has to offer. Okay, now that you know what a UniLevel is, let's talk about how to build one. And that process is what I call the secret sauce. If I can reiterate anything about this slide, is that the money is in the UniLevel. Again, The money is in the Uni-Level, yet most people will focus on their binary. Since we are a hybrid and we have a binary and a Uni-Level combination, the money is in the Uni-Level, and that's where you should focus. When you follow this model, the binary will take care of itself. So how does this secret sauce work? You're going to create a list of 50 to 60 names and sort that list to the top 30. When you have that list of 30, you're going to set a date and a time to do your presentation. You're going to call these people and you're going to invite them to a presentation. That presentation can be a home meeting or a Zoom call, but home meetings will always give you the best results because there's nothing superior to belly-to-belly marketing. Of those 30 people who you invited, 15 or so are likely to show up. If you do a Zoom call, which is an online presentation, you're likely to get more than the 15 because it's less of an inconvenience for people to participate with you online. Of those 15 people who showed up, 7 will become either a customer or a brand partner. Of those 7 people, you will get 3 customers and 4 brand partners on average. Of those 4 brand partners, 1 to 2, maybe 3 of those 4 are going to be ready to go, and you want to get them started right now. So you just did your presentation, you have your numbers, and you're probably thinking, now what? Okay. This is where it gets really simple, but some people make it complicated. All you got to do is have them do what you just did to help get them on your team. So you need to duplicate this process. If you ended up with 1, 2, 3, or 4 or more new brand partners, you want to get them started on this process as soon as possible. The people that you brought in know people that you don't know. So it's very simple for them just to go out, create their own list, and get this process started. When they do what you did, they will likely get the same results, so focus on duplicating this process. By duplicating this process, you start to stack leaders on top of leaders on top of leaders, and when that happens, you start creating legs that don't die, which means you never have to give focus to them again. Now, if you look in the bottom there in red, it says these are average results based on 3+ decades of personal experience. So no matter who you are, no matter what level of experience you have, the average person is going to come up with these numbers if they follow this system, starting with 30 people. The average numbers are exactly what you see here. So no matter who you are likely to get the same results. Some may do more, some may do less, but on average, when you start with 30, you're going to get 15 who participate, you're going to get 7 who actually join. Of those 7, you're going to get a combination of 3 to 4 customers and or brand partners, and that's when you duplicate this process. You take those same builders, identify who are ready to go right now, you have them create their list and start this process. This is a very duplicatable process, so do not deviate from this. Please keep what is simple, simple. All right, this is the last slide in the presentation, and we're going to talk about what it looks like to build a Uni-Level and to stack leaders on top of leaders on top of leaders. As you can see, there's some blue squares and some yellowish orange circles. The squares represent a brand partner and the yellow circles represent a customer. So how does it look? You just did your meeting, and this is you at the top, you and your wife and your one of your children. That's you as a family running a business. As soon as you hold your meeting and you secure your average of 7, you will take the best 2 to 3 builders who are ready to go right now and have them do the exact same thing that you did. Okay, what did you do? You created your list. You invited people to a presentation. You gave a presentation. You got a decision. Out of those decisions, you ended up with your 3 to 4 people. So again, you want to have them do the exact same thing that you did. They know 30 people that you don't know, so don't feel like they can't come up with a list of 30 people within a 2 to 3 day period. If they do what you did, they should get the same results that you got on average. With solid duplication of this system, you can see where leg 1 has a ruby. Okay, look at that first leg on the right hand side. There's a ruby, and then if you go down to the next red line, it shows that there's a gold underneath that ruby, and they're all part of the same line of sponsorship. You have 2 silvers and you have a bronze, and this could keep going and keep going. Excuse me. So this is what it means to stack leaders on top of leaders on top of leaders. What does it look like? You have a ruby on top of a gold, on top of a silver, on top of a silver, on top of a bronze. Okay? When that happens, that's what's called a leaders on top of leaders on top of leaders. That means that leg is never going to die. So no matter who you are, if this is your first leg or one of your legs and you have this type of configuration where you have multiple ranks on top of multiple ranks on top of multiple ranks, that leg is secure. It means it never needs your focus again. There's enough leadership in that leg to take that leg to a whole nother level while maybe you're focusing on your second leg or your third leg or whatever leg that you want to focus on. But you never have to worry about focusing on the first leg again because you have the leadership in there that's going to take care of that for you. All right? And that's really all there is to it. Again, everybody knows somebody that you don't know. So please follow that secret sauce. That is the formula for a UniLevel. That's what's going to take your business to a whole nother level. And if you're struggling to get your one or two, this is how you're going to do that. You got to have a presentation. You got to have a meeting with enough people that the numbers work in your favor. So on average, and this is going to be no matter who you are, whether you're a beginner or a veteran, if you invite 30 people to a presentation, 15 are going to show up. Out of those 15, 7 are going to participate. Out of those 7, you're going to generate 3 to 4 customers or 3 to 4 brand partners. And then when that happens, you're going to sign up the brand partners, you're going to love on the customers, and you're going to get them duplicating the process that you did to get them as soon as possible. So that's a UniLevel. That's all you really need to know. There's nothing, no trickery here. It's a very simple process. All you got to do is keep it simple, and that'll conclude my presentation. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.